Good morning to all of you. I am Dyna, Assistant Professor working in MVSR Engineering College from the Department of Computer Science and Engineering. I am going to discuss today about track 1 problem set, that is AIML. This is phase 2 experience learning. Under part of experience learning, we have a problem set, exploratory data analysis for the Titanic data set. So today I'm going to give a presentation on that. So this is AIML track 1. The problem statement is, first of all, we have the Titanic problem. So the Titanic problem, as you all know, there were a number of passengers who have boarded the Titanic ship. And the problem there was to identify whether the passengers boarded were survived or not. But the problem statement here that I have chosen is the first one, that is exploratory data analysis. So the main objectives of the exploratory data analysis is to first identify or study or explore the data set. So we have here two data sets, training data set and testing data set. So here, before going to the testing data set, we need to explore the training data set. So we need to study the Titanic training data set. So for that, we have, I've used Python here. So for studying the training data set, first you need to load the CSV file or the Excel file. After loading the training data set, we need to, the training data set basically consists of 891 passengers on board, and each passenger is given a row. So we need to make use of methods of Python. We have several methods like describe and info, which gives you the entire information about the data set. So you need to identify how many passengers are there. For example, I have used the method describe to identify how many passengers are there. So I will just show you the Python file which I have worked. So this is the method here, as you can see, describe method. So the describe method is used here for the Titanic dataset, training dataset. So it basically gives you all the variables. We have so many variables here, like survived is a target variable. All the other variables are the independent variables: age, pair, class, child, female, gender. Okay, so these are all the other variables that we have. And here I use this describe to give us basic statistics of the data set. So what is the statistics that it gives you about the data set, like the count? So you have total number of passengers 891. Similarly, we have mean, which gives you the mean, that is average of the particular variable. Like for example, if you take fare, the average fare is 32. Okay. Then you have something called STD, standard deviation. Again, if you go back here, the highest standard deviation is for fare. So what does standard deviation give you? Basically, if you have a high standard deviation, that means the data is spread highly. And the low means the numbers are very close to the average. So similarly, you have quantiles. So 25%, 50%, 75%. This is all description about the data set. So this description, quantiles and statistics gives you how the data is distributed into 4 equal parts called 25%, 50%, and 75%. 25% is the first quartile, which is a middle number between the smallest number and the median. Second is the median of the data set. That is the 50% that you can see. And third quartile is a middle value between the median and the highest one. So this is one method which gives you about the basic statistics. And that is what we have seen here. Then you have the head method, which gives you the first 5 rows. Then you have info method, which tries to give you information about the columns. What are the data types of the columns? Like for example, passenger ID is a one column or one variable. So the data type is integer. Then you can see the target variable survived. The data type is integer. The name, it is an object. Then you have age, it's a floating point. Similarly, ticket number, it's an object. Then fare, it's a floating numerical value. So these are all the different types of data types that have been listed according to the variables. So for that, we are using the method called info, which is a part of the Python. So then after this, we need to understand further about the data set, like further exploration has to be done. So First thing is you are identifying or exploring the Titanic data set, understanding what is the data set, what are the variables. So you have 12 columns and you have number of passengers and then survived. Then apart from that, what are the numeric variables? What are the categorical variables? You have numeric variables like passenger ID, age, number of siblings, then you have parents and number of children and fare. Then you have strings like name, cabin, and ticket number. Categorical variables are there like P class, that is the class. Which class of the ticket? You have three classes basically: class 1, class 2, class 3 type of options available. Then you have the gender, which is denoted by sex variable. Then you have embarked, that is the type embarked is given. You have under P, S, and Q category over there. So that is nothing but port number. So C, you have a place called Cherbourg, Q called Queenstown, and S called Southampton. So these are all embarked ones. So this is all about understanding the data set. Then apart from that, what are the other objectives here is, now you have to understand the influence of each variable on the target variable. You need to understand how each variable has an influence on the survived variable. So for that, you can take a correlation matrix, and then you have various visualizations like count plot, box plots, histograms to understand how the variables are influencing the target variable. So there I have again, I'm trying to show you show my screen, share my screen here. So this is your Python file. So here, if you can understand, you can see here. You can see this graph here. You have a count plot. This is trying to understand how the gender, that is the male and female count, so who have boarded on the ship. Clearly, you can see the number of male passengers are more compared to the number of female. So male are around 500 plus, you can see, and female are around 300 plus. So clearly, you have male passengers more who have boarded. So here again, this is all exploring the data set to identify how many passengers have boarded, what is the majority, and to understand how they have the influence. Then similarly, I have tried to understand how the class. So as I told you, three are there. So ticket class 1, class 2, class 3. So we have three classes here, and you can clearly see from the graph, from the visualization count plot. So the gender proportion. So here you have third one, that is class 3. Passengers are more. Number of passengers from class 3 are more. Similarly, we will see the gender distribution also. Here, belonging to class 1, class 2, class 3, here you can see clearly there are very few males here in the class 3. This is class 3 compared to females. In males are more here in class 3, and males are more in class 2. Again, males are more. Okay. Similarly, we need to check the ratio of male, female, and children in each category. Now, this gives you the ratio of male, female, and children in each category. So, more number of males and females, you can see. This is number of males, females. In class 3, you have more number of males and females. Similarly, age of passengers also can be plotted like this by using histogram. I have used a histogram here. Okay. So, these are some of visualization methods to understand the data set or explore the data set. Then you have KDE plots as well. I've made use of KDE plots also to understand how the variables age is affecting, and the other variables as well. Then, as I told you, after this we have to remove the null values and a conversion of numeric to non-numeric. Sorry, non-numeric to numeric variables. Like we have null values like age and cabin. They have null values. So you need to drop the null values and convert the categorical values into numbers. And also we need to drop the columns that do not provide any meaningful information. Like for example, we have some variables like name and ticket. They don't provide any valuable information to the target variable survive. So that also is done here. So we are dropping here. we fill the null values in the embarked column and check if there are any more null values here. And we can see that so these are more visualizations have shown here. So dropping the null values, and then also we need to identify which features are helpful for making prediction and drop the features which are not helpful. Like as I told you, we need to drop features like name, siblings, ticket. These are not much useful for the prediction. Also drop other features like without family, male, gender, and class 3 as they're having very low survival rate. All this is being shown in my Python file which I have worked, and I have provided the link also to the drive. And so this is all part of data cleaning. So this is the next objective that is there. All the data cleaning has to be done here. Removing the null values, dropping the features which are not useful for prediction. So, and finally, we have the correlation matrix. So identify the correlation matrix by using a method called CORR, which is part of Python. And then we use Seaborn and Matplotlib for visualizations. Then from the correlation matrix, what you can understand is that the age is inversely correlated to the target variable, survive. And fair and gender also is positively correlated. Negatively correlated means they are inversely correlated. So they have inverse relationship. Positively correlated means they have a direct relationship. One increase, the other increases. So the same thing is indicated by heat map as well. So this is the correlation. As I told you, in fact, for example, age is a variable which is having a negative correlation to the target variable survive. So this is negatively correlated. Yes, that means inversely related. Coming to fair, if you see, highly correlated, positively correlated, 0.25 plus value. That means a direct relationship between the target variable and the fair value. Yes. So this is what we have done here. The same thing can be done visualization by using the color map here. This is a correlation map here. So this is about the exploratory data analysis that I have done, and I have provided the link to the Python file as well, whatever I have worked with. Thank you.